Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists. Hello, I'm Dango Rose, and this is the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening.
And I'm Cynthia Davis. In this week's episode, we hear part 2 of our segment with Nederdays organizer Stephanie Andelman. It's set for this weekend, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about the individual events and how to find all the best spots.
We hear this week's music mentions from Jamie Lammers, and special correspondent Maryanne Rosen will share a fascinating story about the Spring Equinox.
And for our final segment, Dango interviews local musician Sarah Banker. They talk about the new weekly open mic happening at Sweet Susan, Nederland, welcoming all types of performance art.
But first, some news from your neighborhood.
Mountain guide Henry Heyman will be hosting an avalanche awareness course and rescue training at Howland Wind Brewing and Blending Sunday, March 26, starting at 9 a.m.
Some of the topics covered will include understanding avalanche forecast, mapping tools and tour planning, human factors, and group dynamics related to avalanches. You can sign up by visiting Howling Wind Brewing on Facebook and clicking through to their events tab.
The Boulder Watershed Collective is excited to offer folks an opportunity to join the local USDA Forest Services leaders on a site view of an upcoming prescribed burn.
Prescribed burns are an important step in protecting our community, watersheds, and local forests from wildfires. Come learn from local Forest Service fire managers about how they design a prescribed burn in connection to weather, objectives, and what it means to live in a fire-adapted ecosystem.
For more information and to sign up for the tour, go online to boulderwatershedcollective.com and click through to the events tab.
Local community festival, Nederdays, is set for March 24th and 25th in Nederland. This family fun affair begins Friday evening and will run all day Saturday. The event is packed with entertainment and activities for all ages and is free to attend. Check out the full calendar at Nederdays.com or on Facebook at Nederdays.
Read more local news and feature stories in print and online at themountaineer.com.
And that's it for this week's news briefs. If you have something to share, you can send requests for submission to info@themountaineer.com. As long as it meets our community standards, we'll be sure to include it in a future episode. Brightwood Music has been serving the Peak to Peak region and beyond since opening in 2008. The full-service music store offers new and used instruments and will even repair the ones you've got. Go ahead and check them out on Facebook at Brightwood Music. Brightwood Music is the best music store with altitude across the Peak to Peak. With Nederdays right around the corner, Cynthia Davis took another opportunity to catch up with Stephanie Andelman to find out what's in store for local town patrons. Let's take a listen.
Hi, Stephanie. So last time we spoke, you gave us a basic rundown of everything that's going to be happening during the much-anticipated Nederdays event. This week, give us an idea of what people are most excited about.
Many people are asking about live music. Oh, we have lots of music. It's not in a big tent with an indoor bar. Instead, you get to go all around town seeing live music. After the barn dance and the silent disco, we have the no-go Gillbillies. We have a karaoke at train cars. We have Lonnie and Randy of the Stellar Jays outside under a pop-up tent between the Deli and Busey Brews. Iron Roots is a 6-piece dub reggae band outside of the train cars. Very nice. In addition to having the No-Go's, has Reservoir Fog. And they also have Mountain Reverb. Busey Brews also has Ghost Town Drifters Duo. Kathmandu even has a show over dinner on Saturday with Sarah Banker. And Nederdays has Kings of Prussia. And the big event to end it all on Saturday night is the Power Lung Rangers at the Covered Wagon. And Train Cars, Coffee and Kava have Blues and Beats, which is electronic music until 1 a.m.
And we've also heard some talk about the scavenger hunt.
So the scavenger hunt is actually put together by 6 locals, and we check out the scavenger hunt from Mountain Man. And when you complete your quest, which is what they're calling 3 different quests, one is local history related to the town and the mining. Another one's music of the area. And honestly, I can't remember what the third one is right now, but you pick your quest. They give you all the information to leave from Mountain Man. It takes about 2 hours to do. Of course, you can do whatever else awaits you as you walk throughout town, because I guarantee you might join the tug of war or play keg bowling. But when you're done with your quest, you check it back in, and you get to vote actually during the quest on the snow sculptures for the audience prize. And then you get awards from Mountain Man by completing the scavenger hunt.
Tell us which event you think is the absolute must attend.
The sledding contest, we're building a ramp on East First Street. And you go up the ramp, and Ace Hardware donated the sleds, these big orange sleds. And one person gets in that sled, but one of their teammates can push them down and off. And they go down a course that won't be too complicated, but we'll have some hay bales that you go through a little bit of a obstacle course, but it's more like F-shaped instead of up and over. And you get to dress up, and the audience dress you, and then it's open sledding. So after we have the contestants go through, anybody can come and go up the ramp and come down in a sled.
For anyone coming up, First Street will be closed off during a portion of the event. Is that correct?
It will be closed at midnight Friday, I believe, and then only until 12:30 on Saturday. And that will be open up as a regular street on Saturday afternoon. There's going to be activities up and down. You just got to see where the crowds are going, like wood splitting, a beard contest, tug of war, etc.
Thank you, Stephanie. We know a lot of people have come together to create and plan Nederdays, and I'll let you remind everyone one last time on why they should definitely try and make it out this weekend.
Every day is a better day in Neverland.
Now we go to correspondent Jamie Lammers, who will be delivering this week's Music Mentions.
And now for this week's Music Mentions. Head to Busey Brews, located at 70 East 1st Street in Nederland, for a multitude of performances happening from Nederdays on Saturday, March 25th. Starting at 12 p.m. between Busey Brews and the Deli, Stellar Jays will be performing. At 4 p.m., Gratefully Acoustic will be performing, and at 6:30 p.m., Ghost Town Drifters will be performing. On Sunday, March 26th at 2 p.m., American Sound Lab will be performing. Head to the Canyon Tavern, located at 32138 Highway 72 in Coal Creek Canyon, on Friday, March 24th at 6 p.m. for a karaoke night, and on Saturday, March 25th at 6 p.m. for a Neil Z performance. The Caribou Village Shopping Center will be briefly taken over by a barn dance with Paula Richards and the Hotfoot Band for Nederdays on Friday, March 24th at 5 p.m. Head to 20 East Lakeview Drive in Nederland to check it out for yourself. Head to Covered Wagon on Saturday, March 25th at 9 p.m. to see the Power Lung Rangers performing live for Nederdays. They're located at 15 East 1st Street in Nederland. They also have karaoke nights every Thursday at 7 p.m. At the 261 Eldora Ski Road site in Nederland on Friday, March 24th at 1 p.m., where Sundragon will be performing at the Woodward Boombox. Also be sure to head there on Saturday, March 25th at 9 a.m. for a performance by Pistol Pete. On Saturday, March 25th at 1 p.m. on the West Wing deck, Card Catalog will be performing live. On Sunday, March 26th at 9 a.m. at the Woodward Boombox, Yololo will be performing live. And on Sunday, March 26th at 1 p.m. on the West Wing deck, Barefoot Family Caravan will be performing live. Head to the Gold Hill General Store and Pub on Friday, March 24th at 7 p.m. for a live performance by Sycamore Porch Pickers, and on Saturday, March 25th at 7 p.m. for a Misty Vale performance. They're located at 531 Main Street in Gold Hill. Head to Howlin' Wind Brewing, located at 51A Main Street in Rollinsville on Saturday, March 25th at 4 p.m. for a Good For Nothing Thunder Mountain Boys performance. Head to Igati on Friday, March 24th at 7 p.m. for a silent disco with DJs Blue, Darren, and Gilfish for Nederdays. They're located at 92 East 1st Street in Nederland. Head to the Jamestown Mercantile on Thursday, March 23rd at 7 p.m. for a Lost Penny performance, and Friday, March 24th at 7 p.m. for a Mercy Club performance. They're located at 108 Main Street in Jamestown. Head to Kathmandu, located at 110 North Jefferson Street in Nederland on Saturday, March 25th at 6:30 p.m. to celebrate Nederdays with Sarah Banker and Brent. Head to 250 North Caribou Street in Nederland, where Knotted Root Brewing is located, to check out the Brewer's Dozen featuring Kings of Prussia and Friends every Saturday at 5 p.m. and Jazz Sundays with Black Dog and Friends every Sunday at 4 p.m. Also be sure to check out the Nederdays performances on Friday, March 24th at 5 p.m. with Super Light Jazz Funk, and on Saturday, March 25th at 5 p.m. for Kings of Prussia. Head to the Millsite Inn, located at 44365 Highway 72 in Ward, to check out an open jam every Saturday at 6 p.m. Ned's Cafe hosts a Dan Jam every Thursday at 10 p.m. and a karaoke night every Sunday at 7 p.m. Be sure to head to 121 North Jefferson Street in Nederland to check them out for yourself. Train Cars Coffee and Kava will be hosting special performances for Nederdays. Head there on Friday, March 24th at 7 p.m. for Kava Karaoke, and on Saturday, March 25th at 12 p.m. for an Iron Roots performance, and at 9 p.m. for a performance from Beulah's and Beats with Jelly and Friends. They're located at 101 South Peak to Peak Highway in Nederland. Finally, head to 20 East Lakeview Drive, number 112 in Nederland, where the Very Nice Brewing Company is located, to check out the No-Go Gilbillies performing for Nederdays on Friday, March 24th at 7 p.m. Also be sure to head there on Saturday, March 25th at 2 p.m. for a Reservoir Fog performance, and at 5 p.m. for a Mountain Reverb performance, all of which are special performances for Nederdays. Did we miss you, your business, or your performance? Want to submit your music listing in the Peak to Peak area? If you have updates to your business or to your performances, please call 303-810-5409 or email info@themountaineer.com to be included in the next print edition or the next podcast of The Mountain Ear.
Thank you, Jamie. Now let's drop in with special correspondent Maryanne Rosen, who shares a sweet story about the onset of spring.
On Monday, March 20th at 5:24 p.m., the spring equinox is officially upon us. Daylight and darkness are equal, marking a time of balance. It is a time of new beginnings, new life, new paths, growth, seeds, planting, renewal, and finding balance in life. A time to focus on new projects, a time to release and reset, a time of new energy and transformation. If there are areas of our lives that need to change, it is believed that now is a good time to work on those. What seemed impossible in the dark of winter now seems possible. The lengthening days bring energy, hope, and optimism. Celebrating spring is not a recent fad. People have been doing it for thousands of years. For millennia, it has been celebrated across cultures as a time of fertility, creativity, and renewal. It was seen as the start of the agricultural cycle, a time to clean out the clutter in your house, mind, spirit, and to cleanse the body. People would perform rituals to clean out old energy in both themselves and in their homes. Ostara is an ancient festival that began back when people seemed more connected to the earth and the seasons. It is still celebrated today in some circles as a welcoming of the equinox and as one of the 8 festivals of the Wheel of the Year. Until the 18th century, the equinox was also considered the start of the astrological year. The goddesses of spring were and are worshipped at this time. Istra, or Ustra, pronunciation dependent on where you live, is the goddess who represents spring and new beginnings. Persephone is the goddess of spring agriculture. She presides over grains and vegetation. It is also not a coincidence that the meanings of these pagan rituals, along with many of their symbols, cross over into religious holidays now celebrated around this time. Easter, Holi, and Purim, to name a few. So celebrate the equinox and welcome spring. Open your windows and clear things out. Do some spring cleaning of mind and home. Dress your table in the yellows and greens of spring and eat seasonal food. Make a spiritual focal space decorated with spring items. Walk outdoors and engage your senses. Listen to the songbirds. Touch the bark of a tree. Smell the fresh air. Bring home a budding twig that has fallen to the ground, leaves, a discarded shell of a hatched fledgling, a feather, a spring flower, or a beautiful stone to add to your altar. Practice candle magic to help focus on what you truly want. Plant seeds. Breathe deeply and enjoy the sun-kissed days and new growth to follow. And here is wishing everyone a fruitful season.
Be sure and listen in next week as we introduce you to the Bizarre Cat Bazaar, celebrating Fred the Cat, or rather, Fred, Mayor of Nederland. This family-fun, music-filled, rather bizarre event is in the works and set for August 12th. If you can't wait and want to know more now, visit bizarrecatbazaar.com. You can find the direct link to more information in our show notes. And for our final story, Dango speaks with Sarah Banker. She's here to introduce a new monthly open mic taking place in Nederland at Sweet Sue's.
Hey, Sarah, could you so kindly introduce yourself to our audience and let us know what you got going on over at Sweet Sue's?
My name is Sarah Banker, and I am a local musician up here in Nederland, and we are, and I co-run a open mic at Sweet Sue's, first Friday of every month.
So all open mics are a bit different. What is the Sweet Sue's open mic open to having on stage?
It is an open mic or an open stage. It's, sometimes open mics kind of just keep it in the frame of just music, but we're open to poetry, dance if someone wanted to do it, spoken word, music as well. It's kind of just an open stage and an opportunity for all people of all ages to come up and express themselves.
When did you start this open mic?
It started in February. So we've had a couple so far, and they've had a great turnout and wonderful feedback.
And at this open mic, are you performing as well?
I do. I'll either open it or I'll close it out. It just kind of depends on how many people we have. But I do like 1 or 2 songs. It's really more so I do that just to kind of break the ice because I want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable and know that we're all just people, just wanting to perform or express ourselves.
Musically speaking, what is it that you do?
I play ukulele and guitar, and right now I'm learning bass. And I write. I'm a songwriter as well, and I also write on piano. And
where can our listeners find your music? And do you have any plans to record here in the near future?
I do have a collection. I have an acoustic album on Spotify and all the streaming services that was released in 2018. But I have a bunch of songs now that I am in the process of recording to be released within the next year or so.
Thank you, Sarah. We look forward to sharing the stage with you at some good times open mic gatherings over at Sweet Sue's and to hearing more of your music too.
That concludes this week's episode of the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening.
Visit our website at www.themountaineer.com to read more information about today's guests. Pick up a copy of this week's print edition of The Mountaineer at newsstands all across the Peak to Peak. I'm Dango Rose.
And I'm Cynthia Davis. Until next time, thank you for listening.
Every day is a better day in Netherlands.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak to Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.